Hello, I'm Remington. Welcome. Today I want to be talking about Blankets by Thompson. I love this book a lot. It is an autobiography, graphic novel, and I'm kind of going to be spoiling it, but it being an autobiography, it's not exactly the most spoilery kind of thing. But if you're really sensitive to those kind of things, or you just want to experience everything for yourself, just take my recommendation that this book is amazing and go get it. But for anyone who wants to know a little bit more about it or who has already read it, let's continue. I read it when I was in the middle of the ocean on a boat. I was very by myself. You know, there were other people on the boat with me, of course, but I didn't have my family or my friends or too many people that I was really close to with me. And reading this book was almost like a spiritual experience in a way. Thompson, he talks about his early life with his family, growing up with his brother, sharing a room with him, fighting over the blankets. You know, their dad came in and yelled at them as they were being loud at night. All that different stuff that I remember with me and my sisters doing when we were young. I relate to this book in almost every single way, aside from being an artist. The art in this book is absolutely wonderful. It's somewhat simplistic, but at the same time it's very evocative in the way it can evoke emotions, and not so simplistic that I feel like it's unworthy of being called good art. Thompson also talks about his first love in this book, and the way that he explores that is absolutely amazing, and again reminiscent of my early days. I say early days, but I'm 22, but you know, early days of like 16 to 18-year-old, you know, way back in the day. He explores the idea of love and relationships and the disconnect that can happen between those when you haven't experienced it before. Mistaking love for a relationship, mistaking actually just wanting love for actually loving. Religion is also a really big part of this book. He grew up in rural Wisconsin with a very Christian family, much like I did. I wasn't in Wisconsin, I was in Michigan, but you know, basically the same thing. And he talks about how religion was brought onto him from a very early age, and how big a part of his life it was for him, and how big of an impact God had on him. And he talks about growing older, how he just felt as if he didn't have that connection anymore that he had when he was younger, that he could not find this person that had been in the room with him this whole time. All of a sudden he started calling out his name, and this person just isn't there, and everyone else can see him, but it's as if he was never there for him, and he will not show up no matter how much he calls. He's just gone. I wouldn't say that I was depressed when I read this book, but it was definitely kind of like a seasonal depression kind of thing, you know, being on a boat, no sunlight, no people that I cared strongly about around, and just being gone for a long time from anything that I really cared about. This book really impacted me a lot because of that, and kind of brought me through that at the same time. It is so reminiscent of my childhood, and it was kind of a euphoric experience because of that. Thompson dresses it all up in this warm and kind of mystic glow that I think you can only get from someone who's very artistic and poetic in a way that I am not, but that I very much appreciate. I really just have such a deep appreciation for this book. It was very impactful on me and just brought me out of the slump pretty much. It's almost uncanny how similar our lives were, in the way that he explores his own past and the things that I see in my own past. You know, we walked down a very similar road, and I'm sure that that road is pretty broad and that a lot of other people can relate to it, obviously, because I know a lot of other people love this book, but it's crazy how on point it was for me. I suppose I don't have all that much to say aside from that. I don't want to get too deep into the specifics of the book, although I already have basically spoiled the entire thing. It is the most self-reflection I've found in a book before, and that made it really special for me. It's also just like absolutely freaking gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful book. Highly recommend Blankets by Thompson. This is my favorite book that I've ever read, and I don't see it being replaced anytime soon, honestly. Thank you so much for watching my ramble on blankets. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like or do algorithm things if you want, but no pressure. If you have any criticism or things you'd like to see from me, feel free to let me know, and if not, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.